location for today is the beautiful Somers Beach. It's one of many beaches on a long strip of beaches. All of them are fantastic fishing. There's no particular reason I chose Somers tonight. There's many others including Merricks, Shoreham, and a few others down the strip that all fish perfectly. But Somers I just like personally. So I'm going to be doing a bit of bread and butter fishing today. I've got a little homemade rod holder that I made up. I'm going to be testing that out. With a couple of nice rods, we're going to fish for little things like trevally, wrasse, whiting, whatever pops up. And obviously, you can't go down to a beach on Ozfish TV without bringing a surf rod. So we're going to chuck out a bigger bait as well and see if anything happens. But our goal for today is the bread and butter fishing because you guys love seeing it. It helps everyone. It's something anyone of any age can do, and it often ends with a good feed. I've got some gotcha pippies that I'm going to chuck on soon. I find they're really good quality, and I reckon they're going to help us out a lot. But it's not quite high tide yet, and there are a lot of bait stealers around here. So I've got a bit of calamari I'm going to chuck on in the meantime. Now the best way to do your squid for this sort of fishing is a nice thin strip. So the first thing you want to do is cut a ring. It's a little bit sandy here, but you can see how it looks like it's crumbed there. You can see our ring, and then we're going to cut that into smaller sections. So we'll just do a cut here. We've got a long bit there. Now depending on what you're fishing for, you can make this 2 baits with nice long strips, or you can make it even 4 baits with the smaller squares. Now I reckon the strips are going to do better here because they're going to flap nicely in that current and hopefully entice the fish that we're after. Now I'd really love some whiting. I don't know if they're around, but if there are, they do tend to like the long wriggly baits like that. Okay, now to put these strips on, we've got some Black Magic 1/0 circle hooks here. We're just going to pin the strip at the top, doesn't matter which end, and then we'll just twist it around, pick it through one more time. Just gives it a bit more of a better grip for when those bait stealers go at it. So you do want a nice bit of squid dangling down the bottom there to wriggle around and entice the fish a bit like a worm. So what I like to do is I like to put one bait out at the furthest weed patch that I can hit, not in the weeds, but just on the edge of them. The second bait I put closer in on the sandy areas. Some fish will graze around the weeds and some will cut up onto the sandbanks. So we're going to target both locations and hope that one of them works out for us. Put that nice and snug in the rod holder and we're good to go. That was all of 1 second. We literally just turned the camera off and put the rod down, and of course as soon as you turn the camera off, that's when the fish hit. So he's got a bit of weight to him. I'm wondering what we've got. I'm hoping it's not a toadfish that's hooked himself, but you never know in this sort of fishing. So let's have a look. Come on. What have we got here? A whiting by the looks of it. Exactly what we're hoping for. He hit that bait within 1 second of it being in the water. Have a look at that, and that's a nice whiting too. First cast, longer cast, second weed bed, 3 seconds, 1 King George whiting. All we got to do now is punch our bait out into the same spot because these guys graze in big groups. Now like I was saying before, I like to target both weed beds. First cast has told us the whiting are on the further weed bed. As the sun goes down and the tide comes up, they're going to move in, so we want to keep targeting them as that happens. So I'm going to put another bait out to the second one before I lose interest, and then see if I can get a couple more for dinner.